Hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar, developer of the Integrative Movement System. Welcome to video 2 of this 3-part video series of Integrative Movement Insider, training the older client with hip issues. Recall from video 1 we discussed the anterior versus posterior pelvic position. Now remember from video 1, so if you missed it, check it out now before watching this video. Our goal is never to create ideal posture in our clients. That's not our goal for looking at posture, and we're talking about the anterior versus posterior pelvic tilt position. The primary focus when we're training our older clients is to get them to use their hips appropriately. And when we talk about the loading of the lower extremity, what we really want our clients to do is to be able to hinge their hips or to move that pelvis anteriorly over top their femoral heads. So basically that's an anterior pelvic tilt. Most of our general population clients, especially those older clients, have a very poor ability to sit back in their hips and to create that anterior pelvic tilt. So they very early go into posterior pelvic tilt when they go through the squat, lunge, stepping type patterns, and that's what starts to create stress and overload their spine. So one of the reasons why our clients do that, besides posterior hip tightness, and that's a common reason, another reason is a fear of falling. If our clients don't know how to use their posterior hip very well, and they don't know how to hinge their hips, what they'll do is they'll go into posterior tilt, and if they sat back in their hips, they would fall backwards. So then they start to lean forward, and they just round their back and stress their backs out even further. So the supported squat and supported split squat positions work very well for almost all our clients. We even use them with our professional athletes we work with as part of their movement prep strategy. It's really an excellent pattern to groove the thoracopelvic cylinder alignment, as well as teaching them how to sit back in their hips and create that optimal anterior pelvic tilt motion or that hip hinge that they need to load up their posterior hip and sit back in their hips like they need to and reduce the stress on their spine. So here's how it looks. They'll grab suspension straps, they can put their hands against a barbell, they can put their hands up against a wall or a chair for support. And again, they're not grabbing on, they're not holding on real tight, it's just so they feel confident that they're not gonna fall backwards. They're gonna align their head and neck, their thorax over top their pelvis. Their first motion, they're gonna push down lightly into the straps and then sit back and create that anterior pelvic motion. Not extreme, so they're not going like this, sticking their butt out and arching their back. All they're doing is rotating their entire thoracopelvic cylinder over top their femoral heads and sinking back as far as they can, as long as they keep rotating. And then they come back up to the upright position. So they hold the straps lightly, push down lightly, and then create that hinge, sit back, and then come back up to the upright position. Excellent, excellent way to reinforce optimal hip mechanics. The split squat, supported split squat is the exact same mechanics. Align the head and neck, align the thorax over top the pelvis, bring one leg forward, one leg back. Most of the weight will be on their forward leg. Push down lightly into the straps, so they're not bracing down, they're not gripping down. It's just a light pressure just to give them that little sense of control. And now they sit back into their pelvis and then come back up out of that position without gripping, tucking under at the top. They want to come up tall without gripping the posterior hip complex. They sit back in the hip and then come up to the upright position. Sitting back in the hip, hinging, rotating the pelvis anteriorly over top the femoral heads, and then coming back up. So we'll do a set to 2 sets of 10 to 20 repetitions as part of our movement prep and as part of our education process to get our clients using their hips more appropriately. Very, very effective pattern for our older clients especially, but we also use it with all our clients to teach them the proper mechanics to get that pelvis to rotate anteriorly over top the femoral heads while decreasing stress to the low back. So this is Dr. Evan Osar with Integrative Movement Insider. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for video 3 where I'll show you how to progress this pattern and take these concepts into split squats and lunge patterns. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.